Infotainment ukamva sasi kulira sasi umaziwa kuti nkhani za msanguluso zabwera tikuwuzeni kuti kunali chani nkhani za msanguluso komanso kukhalezo chani nkhani za msanguluso. And my name is Sam Banda Jr. In this edition, Estina Katengeza, after being out of the limelight as she was pursuing studies in Japan, she has now started holding performances, and she debuted at Sounds of Malawi acoustic session at Jacaranda Cultural Center in Blantyre. We've got a story on that. And again, Blasto, dancer musician, has been invited to perform at Zanzibar Reggae Festival, but he's in need of over 3 million to go out and participate at the Reggae Festival. And we also look at a story on the French government committing to support the cultural fields in the country. All you can do is stay right there as I bring you more in Infotainment, a basket full of arts and entertainment. Now we begin our program with news that Estina Katengeza has been out of the limelight for a long time because she was in Japan where she was pursuing her studies, and now back in the country, she debuted at Sounds of Malawi acoustic session at Jacaranda Cultural Center, her first show since she came back from Japan. So it was all good and better for her, especially taking into consideration that she has also put up a new band, and the band is called Zoko Mazizakuyanja ZZ Band. So she'll be holding more performances, and she's got new songs as well. Where there as Infotainment, we captured the moments when she was performing at Sounds of Malawi acoustic session. That's on Thursday. Let's take a look.
And I think it has ndiona ngati tinaimba bwino, feedback iwanthu kunena kuti tinaimba bwino komanso ineyo ndimamva kukoma, so ndikusangalala kwambiri kuti I think tinali ndi show yabwino kwambiri. I think kunovo it's like very focused, kunena kuti you just focus kwambiri on the music and just giving your best out there and just giving the music without maybe thinking zochita zambiri mbiri, and then feel ngati kuti it was really eye-opening and great opportunity kuti taimbaso nyimbo zambiri, taimba nyimbo 7 lero. So I feel like it's a really great opportunity that we can do a lot of music and focus it so that people can really appreciate the music and appreciate Kanima lyrics. So it was really a fun experience. Ababa nkhani yaikulu ndiona kuti azikusi kuti tamba band yathu ichedwa Zokoma ndizawuyanja band. So the plan is kuzipitiliza kumaimba kwambiri ma live performances, not only kumashow koma mina maybe ndi malo siyana. I would like to continue performing my live kwambiri So that's the biggest thing that I really want to continue to grow in my music. So far, I have the extended plays out now, so people can find the extended play. Tipeleka information bwino kuma outlets kumene angathe kupeza the extended play. Otherwise, all the music is available. Maalbums azili bwino ndamasulidwa akupezeka pa malawimusic.com komanso tapeza majina Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, ndi zina zotero. They can find all my music. My outlets, my major music outlets onse nyimbo zanga zipezeka. Panopa tatusa extended play nayo so nyimbo zake zozopezeka ma platforms osiyana-siyana. Then ndima CD amene titakale tikupanga indicate where people can get.
Yeah, that's Estina Katengeza debuting at Jacaranda Cultural Center in Blantyre. Now, still sticking on to music, we move to gospel music. We go to Danso. Blasto Inva, all the way from Lilongwe. He's one of the artists who has done well in terms of doing danso, reggae danso. So he has been invited to perform at Zanzibar Reggae Festival, but then he still needs support. During an interview, he told us that he needs over 3 million to go and perform at Zanzibar Reggae Festival with his band Tough Mo. That's the Tough Lion Band. So we caught up with him just to share more details on his music as well as the Zanzibar Reggae Festival, just to share more details. Let's hear from Blasto, who recently also had time performing at Pakonde Ethno Music Festival at Chingarile in Lilongwe.
Greetings everybody. My name is Blasto. B-L-S-T-O. We keep it real and proper for kids. You hear me? The Tough Lion Band. What's the announcement? Greetings, love and respect. Give me one Tough Lion. I give you love this time. Tell ya. I want the reggae music we play and dance on today.
Ambidwende tingati zikuenda bwino kwa nthawi dala papata panga concentrate kugwira nje bandi yathu kuti tigwirane bwino tizitha kumayimba mosangalala komanso moteso anu ake feti kukutira asanayambe kumva kukoma mafans kuti tikhoza kunyamula project yathu kupita nayo kulikonse sakutidziwa koma ngati tayamba kupanga zinthu chazikhalabe kuti zikuwapasa chidwi then ngati mayendedwa kupita kwabwino kondikomera bwino wake pali chonchi komanso pali timimwa itopita kwina ndi kwina kwapanga zinthu kupatula kunena kuti tikhate kujambula ma session athu ndi bandi wa live ena kuti taonesenso anthu asiyena amathango zolowera kuti ndikwaziwa timamvera pa CD komano sanatione kuti kodi tikati tikuimba live ndi bandi yathu zimakhala bwanji amene kuli kwaonetsa komanso pali ulendo umene tikupita kukaimba kunja ku Zanzibar kumene kwa kuli festival ya reggae yomwe ikutchedwa Zanzibar Reggae Festival. So mu August muno tikhate kunyamuka ndi Tough Lion Band kupita kumeneko kapangali kuzetu Malawi. Utenga ndongonena kuti Amalawi apitirize kumasapota aluso osiyana-siyana amene alipo panoti anthu ambiri wakulimbikira ndithu komanso tiyikepo chiganizo chonena kuti sikuti luso loti lingokhala loti tungowasangalatsa uyipawo kuwasapota komanso tithe kuwapanga tikasapota tapasa mphamvu yoti azikatiyimirira kunjaku komwenso kungamabwire mwina timalimbiro ta nzeru njira inanso ndati tikuonjezeranso kubweretsako forex kuno panopa tili mukale crisis ya forex malawi munomo kwayo noti maindustry ena timapanga sideline sitimaona ngati kuti angakhale ndi phindu lothandiza kutukula dziko koma ineyo kunyamuka kuyimba kunjako nthawi zambiri ndikhoza kubweretsa ndalama zoposera mwina mulimi kuti agulitse mabelo folo kapena 5 afodya pachaka.
Don't you fight over fame and the money? A long time I see them a fighting, but the girls and the fame and the money. Cause we don't want that. No love, man, of the spreading of this. Well, yeah, we don't want that. Just you want love, man. I give you one drop of the homicide then. Look at the janitor, trying to be the minister. Look at that idiot, trying to be the star. They walk up in the bar, they want by the whole bar. They want to pray some girls that they don't know. Do what I do, don't tell them to pray for you. Do what is true, them I do for them. Please do them around. Hey, a long time my man and me I want them. Don't you fight over fame and the money. A long time I see them a fighting. Fame and the money. We don't want that. No love, man, and we are straight.
Yeah, that's Blasto. Very good thing to hear artists being invited to perform outside the country, and we do hope he will make it to Zanzibar Reggae Festival. Remember, you're watching Infotainment, a basket full of arts and entertainment, and my name is Sam Banda Jr. Now we've done gospel music, we've done dancehall. Now we're shifting. We're moving on to writing. A very good artist as well in terms of writing, the beauty of writing. So we talk about one veteran journalist by the name of Mike Kamwendo. He's been in the field of journalism for a long time, but now he retired. I would say he retired, but he hasn't retired in writing. So he keeps on writing, and recently he had time to launch a book, his very first novel titled Mbuya. And to him, he says this is just the beginning, despite that he's in his old age, but he still keeps on writing because that's something he loves. He's so passionate about writing, and it's also one way of teaching the current generation that they need to continue reading and writing. We caught up with Mike Kamwendo, who in his stint as a journalist, he's worked for MBC, he's also worked for Blantyre newspapers, now Times Group. So we caught up with him just to share more about his writing as well as the book titled Mbuya. Let's hear from Mike Kamwendo.
It was a sense of relief because I'd been writing for a long time. After writing, I was looking for printers. I published myself, but printers are very expensive in Malawi. And I tried outside people, still expensive. And then I was lucky to find Montfort Press. They had Montfort Media. They had a reasonable figure. So with the help from friends, I managed to print. But it took me 5 months after the book was printed for me to have a launch. Because again, trying to get a launch, something new, people feel, no big thing, keep going. Well, I'm a writer by nature. I started writing short stories. Then you find that some of the stories are so long, you don't know where to chop them off. So I said to myself, now why don't I just write a novel? Well, this was way back. Then I wrote a few novels, chucked them off, but this one decided to stay. So I wrote it and wrote it. It took me 12 years writing. Well, originally, I was writing in my job, at Banda Print. I was writing short stories. First of all, I want to encourage other people to write as well. And the only way to do that was by writing myself. So people would feel, I can do it too. I can't just live doing it all alone. So when I left Black Prince, I started a magazine. And then in that magazine, in every edition, I wrote a short story to encourage people to write short stories. But I knew that sooner or later I'll end up writing a novel. But I didn't know when, because the cost of publishing was very expensive. So I said, I'll stick to short stories for a while. But the inspiration finally of writing a novel came about because my daughters were interested in reading R.K. Rowling's Harry Potter. These are bigger volumes, and here my children really loving that stuff. I felt jealous. I felt, why can't I write something that will compete with that Western writer, so they can love their own stuff from their own home ground, so to speak. So not only my daughters, but when I look at these syllabuses of the schools, there's nothing really apart from Chinua Achebe and Buki or Tiombo and all these people, but nothing Malawian that can grab them, to say, look, with our own Malawian writers. So I said, look, I'm going to be the first because I want my novel to be a textbook, a resource book in literature.
Yeah, that's Mike Kamwendo there telling us more about his novel, his very first novel titled Mbuya. So you can grab it, it's on the market. It's good that we take time to read as well as write. It's a very good thing. Now moving on, Jacaranda Cultural Center in Blantyre, that's on Wednesday, played host to a cocktail and a celebration, a welcome celebration organized by Maison de la Francais, that's Jacaranda Cultural Center, when they welcomed the French ambassador to Malawi, Lesotho, and South Africa, and his name is Orien Lecheville. Orien Lechevilla. Yeah, Orien Lechevilla. That's the name of the ambassador, of course. I'm not good in French, so the name is French. But then during the event, basically, he committed, he did say that the French government is going to support the cultural fields in the country, looking at the immense talent that is here. So he committed to that. And during the event itself, the French government decorated former Minister of Defense, that's Aaron Sangara, with the national that's the National Order of Merit that he received for his immense work during the 24 years he's been working for the French Embassy as well as the French Cultural Center, which basically was bought by the government at 300 million. So it was all good. And then there were also performances by Ketura as well as Agoroso. So we have the highlights of the performances from Agoroso as well as Ketura, as well as interviews with the French ambassador, as well as the French honorary consul to Malawi, Luc Deschamps, as well as Aaron Sangal. Let's see what happened.
Now on the cultural sector, first to promote the learning of French language. So there will be professors, teachers from Malawi going to France to be trained and also to come back and train new teachers in French. So that's important. For artists also, we are working with artistic managers in France to invite more artists from Malawi, for example, singers, performers, to tour the different festivals in France. So that's something that we would like really to see, because we have, as you said, these long-lasting ties between Malawi and France. So we want to use the Jacaranda Cultural Center as a platform, like tonight, for more engagement between our artists. And so there will be a series of events to make sure that for design, for fashion, for movies, for production, there will be more exchanges in the future.
First of all, I just say praise the Lord. Yes, because everything we do it in His name. So, talking about how I feel, it's a feeling of humility. Because when we do our job, we are just doing our job. We don't know that others are busy, recording what you're doing. And then especially if you have worked for something like 24 years in the same institution.
Tonight was a celebration indeed, and a welcoming ceremony as well for the ambassador, a new ambassador, French ambassador to South Africa, Lesotho and Malawi. It was his first mission to Malawi. So our goal was also to introduce him to the country and to Blantyre and to the community of the French people in Blantyre, French-speaking people, and all the friends and all the artists whom we work with.
Yeah, a beautiful event that took place at Jacaranda Cultural Center in Blantyre, and the name, basically, I was saying, it's in French. It's I was trying to revisit the name. It's Orien Rechevalia. Yeah, that's the name of the ambassador, the French ambassador to Malawi, Lesotho, as well as South Africa. So big up to the French government for basically committing to support the cultural fields in the country. And he spoke about the exchange programs as well as even preparing the speaking of the French language, which is crucial. It's crucial because it's spoken to by a lot of countries. Remember, you're watching Infotainment, a basket for arts and entertainment, and my name is Sam Banda Jr. Now we move on to another artistic discipline. This time around, we want to talk about poetry. Deft Poetry Festival, the second edition, is set for July 30, 2022 at Amaryllis Hotel in Blantyre. And last Saturday, basically the organizers announced this when they were receiving a check from CESCA, that's Center for Sports and Arts, which is CESCA, Center for Sports, Culture and Arts, which committed to support the festival for the next 3 years. And this time around, they basically made a check presentation of 2 million kwacha. So we caught up with CESCA director, that's Mr. Torre, as well as the director of Deft Poetry Festival, that's Rodwell Lumbe, as well as one of the partners of Deft Poetry Festival, that's Amaryllis Hotel. So we hear from the three players.
Hear the sound of our culture as children play. They believe that relying on history alone for our visibility isn't enough. So Badaji Papa Sandalo display their massive pride as they express satisfaction of our culture. At dusk, we can ask, hope always appears. A person on the side where the sight of his reflects the burning fire burning far from above. The smoke can judge how genius a gogo is. Hear the sounds of our culture as dancers vanish inspiration. Picking up the pieces of our forefathers, beating drums, dancing ngoma manganje, vimbuza chopa sikele chini nikwata. Admire clean our traditional gears, we cherish mobilize, sensitize as pieces people existing in others.
My name is Caleb Tole. I'm the chairperson for Center for Sports, Arts and Culture. In short, we call it CESCA. Number one, poetry is a big thing in Malawi, and we do have close to 500 poets, and we believe that poetry can be used for Malawi's economic development. Number one, to create jobs. So we believe that more jobs can be created through poetry, but we also know we can use poetry to raise awareness on many issues that are affecting our country in terms of agriculture, health, education, governance, and many other issues that are there. But also poetry can heal someone. We are talking of depression these days. There's a lot of depression, a lot of suicide. Many young people are committing suicide. So we believe that poetry is something that can contribute to Malawi development. As you know, we are currently in economic hardships, and we do not have a lot of forex, but we believe that if poetry can also put Malawi on the map where people can know where Malawi is. There are even other countries which they don't know where Malawi is. But once we have someone who is a poet, who can be like a global icon, we have seen likes of Trevor Noah and others who are here raising their countries, and their countries are known. So we believe that if we may have a lot of support to poetry, Malawi can become a better country.
My name is Rodwell Lumbe. I am the founder and director of Deft Media Malawi. Today we officially launched this festival. The preparations are going quite fine. We are getting artists. We have announced the procedure through which artists are applying to come and perform at the festival. And on top of that, we have finally got the headliners in the poetry circles that are coming to perform at the Deft Poetry Festival. And so yeah, the preparations are quite okay. And unlike last time, this year we have gotten a sponsorship, which for us is a very big thing. It is a milestone for Deft Media Malawi and for poets to have this big stage.
My name is Megan Amanda. I'm the sales and marketing manager for Amaryllis Hotel. Okay, as Amaryllis, we believe in supporting and promoting different artists, whether it's when it comes to culture, when it comes to entertainment. Our doors are open for ideas like that. The first time the Deft Media team came to Amaryllis with this idea, we were very much interested with the idea, because we did notice that poetry was overlooked in Malawi.
That about the Deft Poetry Festival. On that note, we've come to the very end of Infotainment, a basket full of arts and entertainment. I hope you've enjoyed what I brought on to you. Just to give you some hints, some stories. Med C, musician Med C, has parted with ways with Magic Fingers Entertainment. Copyright Society of Malawi had its annual general meeting at Amaryllis Hotel in Blantyre. And last weekend, St. Columba CCAP Church had its gospel fundraiser. My name is Sam Banda Jr. Keep it times as well as Infotainment. Ciao.